the strategy, Nina's strategy is the best one. My sister already broke it down for us. We'll just give you more, just break it down more. Launching why we're telling you why is the best strategy. They were able to launch a fatal onslaught against the unitary constitution and its enforcers, including non-Fulani renegades and collaborators across Nigeria, particularly politicians and religious leaders. We are telling you why Nina's strategy is the best. It has launched very, like, because when you uproot somebody, like somebody is walking on the red carpet and you flip the carpet off, the person will fall with the teeth down. That's what Nina's strategy has done to these criminals. Apart from this onslaught against the enemies of the people, they have built an alliance of the victims, like the rest of the Nigerians that are victims of these enemies, which isolates and incapacitates the Fulani and their conquest schemes. So it's like somebody is stealing something, you go and wake up the real owners of the thing that is being stolen and tell them this is how this criminal is stealing your something, and these are the strategies and everything. You can build and gather them together, because for the longest time, these ethnic nations were fighting and never agreeing on anything, fighting themselves. Igbo will say it's Yoruba that is doing them. Yoruba will say it's Igbo that is doing them. Ijo will say it's Igbo. Efik will say it's Ijo. Fighting. They sowed mistrust amongst the people. What Ninas has done was quietly go and whisper to all the ethnic nations. If there are 250, if there are 300, Nina's team have gone to them one by one. That's what we have done for the past 25 years. To whisper to their ears, the ears of their leaders, opinion molders, those that have been tricked these years, telling them who the common enemy is and the strategy we can use to free our people. So the alliance has been built among all the victims of this colonial terrible structure. Nina's constitutional force majeure of December 16th, 2020, my sister referred to it at the introduction, was to deploy the enforcement mechanism for recovering the sovereignty of the constituent peoples of Nigeria, hijacked by the fiat of British amalgamation since 1914, and currently codified and sustained by 1999 Constitution of Nigeria. We are telling you why Nina's strategy is the best. So all this work has been finished. Where we are now is final phase. That is why there's this one that we want to pull up for you. Some is already in circulation. If you look for it, it's like just giving you instruction what you need to do. So where we are now, we are in the middle. To the left is election 2027. You see, it's red. It's marked red. Because if you go that side, okay, my own left, I don't know what is in your own left. Yes, my own left. It's marked red. You see, the arrow is red. It's marked bad. Because that arrow is taking you to APC, PDP, ADC, and others, even those that will still come up tomorrow. Why? Because they all operate under the 1999 Constitution. All of them. If you go to that side, it's death, you will see, and continued slavery. However, if you turn right, transition into freedom, into the change that Dele Faratomi was referring to, just because of their compromised nature, they are unable to say certain things and stand with them. So they know the truth, but they wish they would flip the people around because they're compromised. They're all compromised. If you stay in that system and you have benefited something from that system, you'll be compromised. So if they speak one, if they call them in the night and say, "What did you say?" He say, "Ah, eh, Joe, Tori Allah, what did I say? Oh, I didn't say. I didn't say. I said that I said. I did not say. I did not say. That's what happens. So don't be, don't lose faith when you see them. Today they say this and tomorrow they say that. It's because they're compromised. So if you go into transition today, we are telling the people, you see the people, we don't have business with politicians. We don't have business with church leaders. We don't have it with those corrupt community leaders. All of them are criminals. We are talking to you, the people, the indigenous people, those ones that are victims of Nigeria, those ones running out of Nigeria because Nigeria is killing them. You and your children, we are the ones we are addressing. If you go into transition, you'll be able to make, like, to speak for yourself, like my sister said. You could say, I want federation. You could say, I want confederation. You could say, sovereign state entities. You will get to make that decision. It will be you making that decision, not the politicians deciding for you. Not Akpan, Kerafa, Akpamu. Go see that one, that, what's that man?
Yes, they are Bama. I think that's his real name, right?
Not any of those ones. Not even Emeka Anyoku Kansi, Anyoku. Not any of those corrupt human beings, but you, the people, because there will be multi-ethnic referendum. You will decide it. And you don't need to go and put it in 1999 constitution. You don't need to go and put a referendum in 1999 constitution for you to have a referendum. No, you know. Anybody telling you, oh, referendum is not in 1999 constitution, let's go to National Assembly and put it. They are liars. You know, these lawyers are liars. If you're operating under 1999 constitution, you become a liar because you have to lie to uphold lie. So, like you read in the ancient scriptures, God said, I put before you today, right and wrong, truth and lie, light and darkness. He said, choose you this day where you will follow. Do you want to go into transition and be free? Or you want to continue to be colonized under the 1999 constitution? But you can make that decision today. Remember, we're waiting for your call. Usually after the show, that's when people start calling. So we call if you want and say what you need to say. Ask questions, make suggestions, but we have to do what we're doing. We are moving, we are going. Because those that are dying, those that are victims of the system are working with us. Because we need to deconstruct that colonial system in order for us to reconstruct a working system. It's only when we now have this working system, we now begin to say election, who we vote, who do we want to vote, this, that, that. The first thing first is to tear down colonialism, complete decolonization, and then we'll begin the work. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. So it's very, very important for us to understand that the Fulani conquest is not a myth, but actually is a clear and present danger that is sustained by colonial system disguised as federalism. Any attempts at constitutional amendments, restructuring, or political power rotation have failed us, and it have failed us woefully. What it has done is actually to leave the colonial system intact. Only NINAS offers a lawful, peaceful, and comprehensive strategy to end the Fulani conquest and the colonial, what should I call it, slavery at this point. Only Nina's strategy can deconstruct the colonial foundation and reconstruct, like my sister said, a new, just and order based on sovereignty of the indigenous peoples of that nation. So it is no longer a question of if, but how will Nigeria survive under this Fulani conquest? The answer lies in choosing Nina's pathway, but not as an option, but as a necessity. So we ask, are you ready to stand up and say enough? Are you ready to reject the lie and embrace the truth? Are you ready to dismantle the slave master's house and rebuild a free homeland? Then if the answer is yes, then you must stand with Ninas. You must stand for the future. You must stand for the land. You must stand for the people. And lastly, you must stand for justice. We talk about justice and equity and fairness all the time. At this point, we have nothing to lose but the chains of slavery and everything to gain, which is what our freedom. So, brothers and sisters, if you're not comfortable with calling, no worries. You can continue to drop your comments and your messages. You can text us your questions throughout the week. I think what I'm going to start doing is every week I will put the link to our WhatsApp group so that if you want to jump in and be there in order to get the daily updates, that will be beneficial as well. But we also have lots of videos for you to check out and get even further information.